Hey there, welcome to this explainer. Think of me as your personal mentor today. Let's just dive right in, shall we? If you're just starting out on your personal growth journey, I know firsthand it can feel incredibly overwhelming. So instead of talking about some massive, intimidating life overhaul, I'm going to share a story about a totally ordinary guy. We'll call him Alex. He completely transformed his entire life, and the crazy part? He didn't make any giant leaps. He just used a brilliant, simple blueprint built entirely on quiet, tiny habit shifts that literally take just a few minutes a day.
So here's our roadmap for Alex's transformation. 1. The power of small changes. 2. Morning habits for daily wins. 3. Daytime focus and energy. 4. Evening routines for better sleep. And finally 5. Your weekly habit blueprint. Let's get into it.
Now, before we even touch the daily checklist, we really need to anchor ourselves to Alex's core philosophy. Don't aim to be flawless, aim to be 1% better than yesterday. If you're just kicking off your journey, let this be your North Star. Seriously, we have got to start celebrating progress over perfection. True personal growth, it isn't found in crazy extremes. It's found in these tiny, consistent upgrades. All right, Section 1, the power of small changes and the mindset shift you need to make them happen. You know, when Alex first started, he always waited for motivation to strike. And honestly, that usually just left him frozen in anxiety, completely stuck. The massive mindset shift that changed the game for him, the 2-minute rule. It is so brilliantly simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it right away. No planning, no writing it down in some elaborate planner. Just do it. It instantly shifts you from this passive state of overwhelming anxiety into an active state of low-effort, immediate action. Moving on to Section 2, morning habits for daily wins. As a mentor, the absolute first piece of advice I gave Alex was to master his morning. And hey, notice we didn't aim for some grueling 5 a.m. wake-up call. Waking up just 30 minutes earlier gives you massive control over your day. Next, establish a little order right away by making your bed. I know it sounds super basic, but it really works. But here is the biological game changer: drinking water. Hydrating immediately after you wake up fires up your metabolism, drastically reduces fatigue, and it literally wakes your brain up. Next up is the magic of the number 3. Make it a habit every single morning to set exactly 3 clear micro goals. Because look, when you're just starting to build momentum in your life, giant to-do lists are paralyzing. They're just too much. By identifying just 3 small wins, you guarantee that you'll stay consistent and make meaningful progress even on your absolute worst, lowest energy days. The real secret to Alex's laser focus, though, was programming his subconscious. Every morning, without fail, he wrote down his biggest goal. You just repeat this until your brain actually believes it's already done. Why does this work? Well, because if you can see it, you'll chase it. It's a simple little habit that tricks your brain into hyper-focusing on your ultimate success before you've even walked out the front door. Okay, Section 3, daytime focus and energy and how to maintain that momentum. To keep that momentum going strong throughout the workday, we're bringing back our ultimate weapon, the 2-minute rule. This is literally how Alex permanently destroyed his procrastination at the office. Got a quick email, a tiny admin task, a super short phone call. Execute it immediately. This totally prevents that sneaky mental clutter that ends up draining your focus by 2 in the afternoon. Now, when you need to really structure your deep work, rely on the Pomodoro technique. You focus intensely for 25 minutes, and then you take a hard, non-negotiable 5-minute break. Then, just repeat the cycle. Our sources actually credit this specific time-blocking method with making them completely unstoppable during the day. It perfectly balances that deep, heads-down work with the rest your brain desperately needs. And during one of those breaks, or maybe over lunch, Alex layered in this amazing habit, reading just 10 pages a day. Books are literal time machines, guys. By reading 10 pages, you are basically downloading someone else's entire lifetime of wisdom in a matter of minutes. It gives you a massive, life-altering return on a really tiny 10-minute time investment. Speaking of 10 minutes, here is a vital physical habit to fiercely protect your daytime energy. Stand up for 10 minutes every single hour. Humans are simply not designed to sit at a desk all day long. Sitting actually drains your energy and kills your focus. But standing up, it boosts your circulation, it fights off that midday fatigue, and it keeps your mind remarkably sharp. We can build on that movement with the number 2. Just add 2 minutes of stretching per hour. While you're already standing up anyway, take a brief moment to stretch it out. This is an incredibly simple physical habit, but it keeps your physical energy levels extremely high and completely prevents that sluggish mid-afternoon crash that ruins so many people's productivity.
But let's be real. What happens when the stress inevitably hits? Because you know it will. That's when you use the reset button. Taking 5 deep breaths when you're overwhelmed is basically a literal reset button hiding right there inside your lungs. Use it. It instantly reduces anxiety, lowers your stress levels, and perfectly recenters your mental clarity whenever the day gets totally chaotic.
Which brings us to Section 4, Evening Routines for Better Sleep.
As the day winds down, we have to replace the old, terrible habit of scrolling until midnight with a massive upgrade. No screens for 30 minutes before sleep. Alex found that this single habit fixed his sleep faster and better than any pill or app ever could. Seriously, try avoiding screens for just half an hour before bed. Within 3 days, you are going to feel entirely reborn.
Once those screens are finally put away, do this. Reflect on one win before you go to sleep. Celebrate the absolute smallest victory. You made your bed? That's a win. You drank water? Win. This simple act forces your brain to focus on success rather than marinating in the anxieties of the day. It actively rewires your brain for positivity, while simultaneously dropping your nighttime stress.
And finally, right before you close your eyes, plan your day the night before. When your brain knows exactly what's coming next, you don't wake up in a frantic state of reaction. You wake up with pure intention. You waste zero time wondering what to do the next morning, meaning you can spend all that precious energy actually executing your goals.
And that leads us perfectly into Section 5, your weekly habit blueprint and long-term tracking.
So, to make all of this actually stick for the long haul, you need to implement a weekly routine. Once a week, you just do 3 things. First, cut out one digital distraction to totally skyrocket your productivity. Second, unfollow one negative influence online to actively protect your mental health. And third, track your expenses. Because honestly, when you respect your money, it respects you right back.
Now here's your quick daily checklist. Made the bed? Hydrated. Read 10 pages. Stretched. Reflected on one win. Avoided screens before bed. If you're a total beginner to this, please don't get overwhelmed trying to build super complex routines. Just checking these simple little items off daily is exactly how Alex's total life transformation happened behind the scenes.
Let's anchor right back to this core idea. Health isn't found in extremes, it's in the small upgrades. Whether it's eating just one more vegetable a day, learning one new word to sharpen your thinking, stepping outside for 10 minutes of fresh air, or even just smiling to tell your brain you're in control, these tiny, quiet upgrades are the true foundation of personal growth and mental clarity.
So, I want to leave you with one final question. Which tiny 2-minute habit are you going to start today to become 1% better? Seriously, don't wait for tomorrow. Pick just one single, tiny habit from everything we've covered today, execute it right now, and kickstart your own life transformation today. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.